everyone, welcome back to a brand new review today on the channel. And today, I'm not going to be reviewing a movie like I usually do. I'm actually going to be doing my first TV show review. I'm very excited for it. I'm going to do more of these in the future, but this is my first one. And it's probably a pretty unexpected one for me, at least. I didn't expect to be reviewing this at all, because I watched Chainsaw Man, and after watching it, I need to talk about it a little bit.
This show is animated by MAPPA. The show is about our main protagonist, Denji, and he becomes a demon hunter with a group of other demon hunters. And a key point in the show is at one point he actually got infused with the chainsaw demon, which also happened to be one of his best friends at the time, and now he has the unique ability to have chainsaws coming out of his arms and his face.
Little context, I'm not an anime guy. I'm really not. I've watched a lot of Ghibli movies, those are amazing, I love Ghibli, and I've watched a little bit of Attack on Titan. That is the full extent of my anime knowledge. Sure, I know like Dragon Ball, but I don't watch it. But keeping that in mind, I honestly had no expectations, because I had seen this show, I saw the poster, I saw everyone talking about it, I'm like, oh, it's so good, like it's great. And I was intrigued by it, but it wasn't until my friend said, hey Gavin, if you're not too busy, do you want to come over and watch it? And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? It could be a lot of fun. I was right. It was a lot of fun. And there was occasional things that I was kind of a little confused, but you know. Well, we're going to talk about it today because I wanted to do a review of it. Now, to just say right now, the first thing I really liked about this show was the animation. From my understanding, this is pretty one-to-one with how it looks like in the manga it's based off of. And my friend, if he was here, he would probably tell you the same thing, as he's read it all and he has told me this, that it is basically ripped off the screen. And me having read those books, I can't like 100% say that everything is 100%. I know there's certain things that are sprinkled in that he has said, but I thought it was really cool how close they stuck to it. And I'm gonna be honest, this animation is freaking awesome. Like, I really like this animation style. It's very hit or miss for me for animes. Sometimes I think they just look a little too weird. Like, I think the word is too expressive, I guess you could say. They look very weird to me in some cases. But this show really pulled it off, and I really enjoyed the animation. I loved all the different designs they went with. I loved all the different, like, demons and all our main characters. I actually thought they were all pretty unique. And I could distinguish what was what just by looking at it, and I thought that was a really cool touch. And honestly, just all the designs were badass. The Chainsaw Man design specifically, literally one of my favorite designs I think I've seen all year. This shit looks awesome. I don't know what it is with me, but I think always a character with chainsaws on it is like the coolest shit ever. Like, just taking into account, Ash Williams is my favorite character. What does he have on his arm? A chainsaw. What do I love so much about Chainsaw Man? The fact that he has chainsaws coming out of his arm and his friggin' head. And as well as the designs, I really love the fight scenes in this movie. Like, the fight scenes in this movie are so good. Like, unironically, they are so much fun to watch. I was so happy watching them. It just gave me a big smirk on my face how well animated they were, how bloody they were, and just visceral, and how, like, our main character was just laughing throughout all of it. I don't know, that little detail made it so much more fun and badass in my opinion, and every action scene is like that. There's not one action scene where I'm like, no, that was like mid. Every action scene was just in your face, just, oh my god, it was so much fun to watch. I loved every second of that. And moving away from the obvious, really good animation, I actually want to talk about the next thing I really liked about this show, and that's the comedy. Now, this is a pretty, like, out there concept for a show. My friend has even said, I don't think it's like common knowledge that it, well, no, this is meant to be serious. From what I understand, it's supposed to get serious later in the mangas, but this one was very much, I think, a comedy, maybe like a very dark comedy, and I'm gonna say right now, I loved it. There was so many moments in the show where I was just dying, especially with our main character, Denji's, like, whole arc, if you could call it in this movie. Let's just say his motivation for doing what he's doing. I wasn't expecting it. I don't know if I could say it on YouTube, but like, basically his only mission in the show is to get some. That's his only mission in the show. That's why he kills all these demons. That's why he does it. He just wants to get some. That's all it is. And that alone makes this so fucking funny to me, because there are so many scenes where they acknowledge that, and he'll say something, and it's with other characters too, where they'll acknowledge it, and it's just hilarious. Like, this show has so many great moments like that are just funny. They're just really funny, and I just loved every second of those jokes. And honestly, some pretty funny, like, subtle humor too that was on just like in the background. They'll say like one word. And it's funny. I enjoyed it. And also another thing, I really like the pacing of the show. The show didn't come off as like rushed. It doesn't come off as like slow either. Like, you start to learn about the characters and you start to learn about their different arcs throughout the show, understand who they are as people, and you understand the little quirks about them. And in some ways, I wish they would have explained some of the quirks a little bit better, especially with these demons and how that some of them are attached to these demons. Because it actually feels like the last 2 episodes of the show are a little much. Like, it springs a lot on you, the last 2 episodes. And those 2 episodes are really fun, but I think for a casual viewer who doesn't really know what's going on, it could be pretty damn confusing. And I think it was a little confusing, not too bad, but I would have really hoped they would have spread out a little bit more, just little details that would have explained certain plot details a little bit better. And honestly, I really enjoyed the characters too. Denji is obviously my favorite. He's the most badass out of the group, and he does have the funniest arc in the movie, but you could definitely tell that the character still has a lot of morals, and I really like that. He's the goofball, and he's kind of like the one who's just like doesn't really care about anything, but you can still tell that he cares about certain things. Like, he has certain priorities in place, and I really enjoyed that. I appreciated they didn't just make him the one note, I don't care, I'm just killing people and killing demons to just get some, you know? Like, he very much is that in certain scenes, but there are scenes where you can definitely tell that he has other things going on in his mind, and I really enjoyed that. If I would say anything negative about this is very much a personal thing. I'm not a big fan of fan service moments, and you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've seen animes. Certain animes just have fan service, and that could be said in different ways of different things. And this show has a lot. There's a lot of it, and I'm gonna be completely honest here. It did make me uncomfortable. It's so weird. I can watch a rated R movie. It's not an issue. As soon as it's anime, it's just like, I don't know, that's really weird. And I think it's just because it was one of my very first ones that I've watched, so I was just like very taken off guard. It's like, oh, that's what's happening, okay. I'm sitting with 4 of my other friends, just very uncomfortable, like, I'm not a fan of this. And granted, those moments are funny, like I still could laugh them off, but in the back of my head I'm like, that's uncomfortable. I don't know actually how much I like watching this with friends, these moments. Kind of unsettling me. There's specifically one scene at a bar, and my one friend is, oh, I can't wait to see you watch that scene. And I don't think I'll forget that scene for the wrong reasons, because honestly, I really don't have a lot to complain about with this show. I thought it was a very well-paced experience. I would go over like episode by episode. I'm not going to do that though. I'm very much just going to treat it like a grand general view. I really enjoyed my time with Chainsaw Man, and that's why I'm going to give the show in general a big 8 out of 10. It was a lot of fun. I wish some things were fleshed out a little bit more. It's hilarious though. It's a great time watching with friends, especially if you're into that sort of stuff. And the only thing I would say is that there's a little bit too much fan service for my liking, but that's completely objective and opinion based, so other people could go into this just completely ignoring that and loving it. And I still really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited for season 2 to come out if it ever gets announced, but that's just my opinion. But anyways, thank you for watching this review today on the channel. If you like what you saw here, please like and subscribe for more content on the channel coming pretty soon, movie reviews and all, and I hope you all have a great day.